Hello everybody, it's been a wee while, and the reason for that is because life has been incredibly different recently. It's been full of huge changes. You're actually looking at my brand new room in my brand new house, and can you see it doesn't have a door yet? It doesn't have a door yet, but I love it. I absolutely love my new house, and I've got someone to introduce to you. This, my friends, is Aria Rose, my little beautiful little munchkin, my daughter, my little Aria Rose. She came on the 13th of February, and we are all absolutely in love with this little munchkin. She is the best thing that has ever happened to me, and honestly, I just wanted to come on here and show her off because I'm literally in love with her. So I thought I would talk about the birth, to be honest, and just give you an update that she is here, because I know a lot of you are following on my Instagram and you can see the little pictures of her, and I thought some of you might be interested in what it's like navigating having a baby at 21. Obviously I've been very lucky to be able to purchase my own house. Yeah. And I've had immense support from family, friends. Everybody has just been incredible. Everyone's in love with this little gorgeous girl, but also just helping with the house in general, and everyone has just been amazing, and I cannot even complain at all. Life feels like a fairy tale right now, even though it's obviously a difficult change. It's honestly the best change in the world, and I wouldn't change it in any circumstance whatsoever. But yeah, so I thought I would talk about the birth a little bit. I was extremely lucky to have a vaginal birth, which is obviously the standard, what you would expect if there's no complications, and I honestly wouldn't have asked for anything different. I was extremely lucky to not tear at all. I didn't have epidural, I had gas and air. I actually didn't go into labour until about 2 AM I believe, but my waters broke at 12 AM on the 13th of February, so it literally just turned the 13th of February, and baby was like, this is my day. This is my day, it's time to shine. And by 1:36 PM she was here, which is obviously an extremely quick labour, and honestly I couldn't ask for anything better. Like, my labour was just incredible. My midwife, I had my own midwife. I didn't have like a change of midwives halfway through or anything like that. I had my own midwife. I asked for a water birth originally, so I did have a birthing pool. Did I have the baby in the pool? No, I changed my mind halfway through because that is literally just me. But I did go in the pool for an hour before I reached 9 centimeters, and I think that's what really did the trick for me. But if I start from the beginning, so I was lying in bed at 12 AM, and all of a sudden I felt this massive pulse, and I thought the baby had done a big kick because she loved to kick me all the time. And then all of a sudden I felt these gushes come out of me, and I said to my partner, my waters just broke. There was no doubt about it in my head. I knew for a fact my waters had just broken. So we rang the maternity unit and they said to come in to check if my waters had broken, which I thought was a little bit strange because I was adamant my waters had broken. But we went in anyway, they checked, they knew straight away her waters have broken, and they sent me home, which I was so grateful about, because I had ran a 6K that day and my hair was all sweaty. It was ready for a wash. I was ready for a nice old shave. And did I do any of it? No. I was like, do you know what, it's fine, I'll gel my hair tomorrow, I'll shave tomorrow, I'll give myself a full-on glam up tomorrow. And that was a rookie mistake because baby decided to come that day. So when they dismissed me, I was ecstatic in the sense that I could get home even though I was in pain. I literally had contractions on the way home from the hospital because it took so long. But I was adamant I was going home anyway. I popped in the shower, I washed my hair, I dried my hair, and I straightened my hair all throughout the start of my labour. And I was contracted, I was in the shower, I'd take a pause and I'd just be crippled in pain, and then I'd shave. Or I'd be crippled in pain and then I'd shove a little bit of conditioner in my hair. And I was drying my hair, and I was just there, and I'd have to take a pause because I'd just be in so much pain. but I did it. I managed to freshly wash my hair, dry my hair and straighten my hair all before heading to the hospital. By the time that I had finished my hair, it was excruciating. My contractions were coming every 2 to 5 minutes, which obviously is not normal for the start of labour, but my labour was not normal. It was an extreme abnormality, to be honest, and even the midwife said you're an anomaly because your birth, especially for a first time birth, was just incredibly quick, incredibly easy, and I'm just so lucky. I was contracting very very regularly, and usually at the start of labour you might have a contraction and then it could be hours before you get another contraction. That's one thing about newborns, if you don't know, they make funny noises when they're sleeping. But yeah, so what was I saying? I finished my hair and I said to my partner, we need to head to the hospital now because these contractions are really hurting and they're coming very frequently. So we went back to the hospital, and by the time they checked me, I was 4 centimeters already, which was crazy because it had only been a few hours since I'd been dismissed. I literally just did my hair and I had to go back. But I'm so glad I went in because, as I said, I was 4 centimeters. So by that point, I was ready to stay in the hospital and be looked after by my amazing midwife. She was honestly, she just made the experience. I wish I could go back and just give her a massive hug. She made me feel so comfortable and at ease, and she made sure I was comfy the whole way through and confident the whole way through, because insecurities do shine through during birth. I mean, it's not a very dignified experience and you do lose a little bit of your humanity and your animal instincts kick in and you just give up and you're like, do you know what, let's just get this baby out. Who cares about anything else? Because I was thinking to myself beforehand, how the heck am I gonna just get my bits out, pop the baby out, not worry about anything? But when it's actually happening to you, honestly, you don't care. And I didn't believe anybody, but honestly, you don't care. Believe me when I say, because I didn't believe anyone who said that, but trust me, when you're in the situation, you don't care. I literally chose to just go bare butt naked in my birthing pool, even though I had the option of going in my bra, because by that point you're just like, just screw it, just get in there. I didn't have a water birth, as I said. I did stay in the birthing pool for about an hour before I had reached 9 centimeters. So when they checked me and I was 4 centimeters, I went through a lot of contractions. It was about 4 hours. And by that point I was 9 centimeters when they checked me after I got out of the birthing pool. Now usually you go up 1 or 2 centimeters every 4 hours. I literally went up 5 centimeters in 4 hours, which is crazy, but as I said, the contractions were never ending. There was no breaks in between them. The break would last about a minute and then I'd be in another contraction. It was a crazy experience, obviously quite debilitating. I was on gas and air for the remainder from the 4 centimeters, I believe, or was it 6? It might have been from 6 centimeters, but that's a rough estimate because they didn't check me. They only had to check me twice. I was 4 and then I was 9, but I think it was around like 6 centimeters, 7 centimeters if I work backwards and estimate. And the lady even asked me when I was there, she was like, have you had breathing like training? Have you been to any classes? And I was like, no, I'm just trying to breathe through it. And she was like, maybe try and take some gas and air just to take the edge off. And I didn't want to for ages, and then I finally gave in and I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna give the gas and air a go. It's not something that I would usually go for because I'm one of those people that I have to be in control, and it does make you feel like you're not in control, in the sense I felt very faint, I felt very woozy, I was talking absolute rubbish to my partner. It was a weird experience, and it would actually set me to sleep as well. So I'd have a contraction, go to sleep, and then have another contraction. Obviously it didn't help that I hadn't slept that night because 12 AM the waters broke, so I'd literally just gone to sleep, so I barely slept. I think I slept for about 10 minutes and then boom bada bing, water's gushing out of me and I needed to get to the hospital. So I took the gas and air. Once I'd got out of the birthing pool, they checked me. I was 9 centimeters, and by that point I had a few more contractions. I think about an hour later then I was pushing the baby out, and she came out in about 5 or 6 pushes, which it wasn't long at all, and the baby was out, and it was the craziest experience. I actually gave birth on all fours, which I'm so happy about, because I know a lot of people complain about giving birth on their back, and I did not want to do that. And the lady asked me, do you want to go in the pool for your birth? And I changed my mind last minute and was like, do you know what, I feel like I want to stay here. So I went on all fours, got her out, she came out, and oh my gosh, a baby, when they come out of you, do not look like a baby. They are blue. They are literally blue. They look a bit lifeless, honestly, and then all of a sudden I hear this cry and I realise I'm holding my baby, and it's the weirdest thing and most incredible thing and the strangest feeling in the world. And your cord is still attached to you, obviously, because you've still got the placenta inside of you. So I'm there with my baby in my hand, the cord like between my legs, and then obviously they give birth to the placenta, so I had the injection for that. They did actually struggle to get that out. My placenta just didn't want to budge, but honestly I think my body preferred the whole natural experience, and the fact that I took a drug to get that out. My body was like, we're not ready for that, no, no, no. But it was actually recommended that you take this injection to get the placenta out because it's safer for the mother. And then we did get the baby injected with the vitamin K one. The whole birth was just incredible. I was dismissed within like 4 hours of giving birth. They just wanted to check she fed. She fed within 5 minutes, honestly. It was weird. She just latched straight away because I am breastfeeding. And the midwife again was asking me, is there a history of breastfeeding in your family? Because that was so quick. My mum didn't breastfeed. My partner's mum didn't breastfeed. I don't know anyone in my family who's ever breastfed, so that was strange again. But honestly, I think my lifestyle during pregnancy had something to do with it, because I was, as I said, running. I eat quite healthily, obviously treating myself, eating a lot of food, but good food, vitamins, minerals. I ate a lot of dates, but not that much. Like, they do say 6 a day. I think I was having about 2 a day at most, and that was like I say 2 a day, I mean like every 3 days I was having 2 a day. I did buy date syrup, so I was having like pancakes with date syrup, yogurt with date syrup, so like I would have that like ingredient in my meals. But I wasn't a big like date lover, like the actual consistency. I'm actually really fond of them now, but it took the pregnancy and eating them a lot to actually get used to them, because I'd never eaten them before. Raspberry leaf tea as well, I did have quite religiously. Every day I'd make sure I had raspberry leaf tea. And it wasn't that bad tasting, so I didn't find that too difficult, and I just thought may as well try that. But honestly, the birth was so smooth. I don't know what factor helped it. Maybe it was all of it. The fact that I'm 21 as well, so I'm younger, might have helped it. But the birth was so smooth, no tearing. So they didn't even say I had to use like the witch hazel foam and the witch hazel pads. If you have had a baby, you might know what these things are. But they didn't even prescribe, if that's even the word, anything to me. They just said, we want to make sure you've eaten, we want to make sure your blood sugar is steady. They took my blood pressure, they took the baby's weight, and they made sure the baby was good. And then they were like, you can go, you can literally go, you're fine. And we got home, had a bit of food, and my family obviously met the baby. Liam, my partner's family, met the baby, and that was the day. And it was the most amazing day of my life. Ooh, because they gave me this beautiful baby girl, and we are all absolutely obsessed with her. But life since having this baby has been crazy but incredible. The first night was absolute torture because she didn't like the next to me we had, which is like the bedside crib. But we spoke to the midwife when they came the day after, and they basically told us that a lot of babies don't actually like sleeping in them because they feel very big and they're not used to big. They're used to being squished up in your womb. So we put it in the Moses basket instead, and she's been sleeping in that great ever since. But that first night was hell. It was hell because we hadn't slept, and me and my partner were taking shifts to hold the baby to sleep because she would not sleep in her next to me. But luckily we didn't have any plans. My partner was on paternity, I'm on maternity, so we could get away with just having a lie-in the next day. Although his family did come down the next day at 12 o'clock. So we were up anyway, and we were tired, let's just put it that way. But we've had so many visitors since, so many people absolutely love the baby. But obviously we're being quite careful because we want to make sure her health is the priority and make sure she's good. But I'm obsessed. She's the best thing that has ever happened to me in my whole life. and I'm so happy, so happy. But that's why the vlogs have not been posted since October, because life has been a crazy whirlwind, like absolutely mental. I might give you a little room tour as well, but the house has come along great. It's not ready yet, it's by no means done, because the baby decided to come a little bit early. I had her at 39 plus 2, so we thought we had another few days, like almost a week, and we would have had a lot more done in that week. But babies choose when they want to come, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Her birthday is the 13th, which is a special number for me because my granddad, my nonno, my Italian granddad, he was born on a Friday the 13th as well. And for me, it's very, very lucky. And it would be me to have a Friday the 13th baby, honestly, it would. But that is my update. If you have any questions, let me know. I just really wanted to update you all and make a video because it's been way too long. I just haven't made a video in months. Since I went to that pumpkin patch in October, which feels like years ago, but at the same time feels like yesterday. But thank you so much for watching. As I said, if you've got any questions, let me know. But right now I'm just trying to navigate motherhood, especially at this young age, and I am loving it. My partner's back in work today, and I have been kind of worrying about the whole, you know, raising the baby, not raising the baby on my own, but obviously taking care of the baby on my own. But I'm loving it. We're loving it, aren't we, baby girl? We're loving it. I went for a coffee and some pancakes with my friend Kaylee earlier, and that was lush. And I'm just enjoying maternity leave, to be honest. It's honestly a breath of fresh air, and it teaches you that work isn't everything and there's more to life, like this little one here. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you get back to me with any questions if you've got any, and sending you all my love. Thanks for watching. Bye. Room tour. We've got this little bed, her little Moses basket, my desk, which I do want a Hollywood mirror on top of, but we haven't got round to doing that yet. Wardrobe, and a little chest of drawers with baby socks and random things on top, because that is just life at the moment. It gets busy.